When my phone buzzed, I was kneeling to tie my son's shoelaces outside his daycare. The message preview glowed on the screen like a knife under sunlight. Moving to Spain with Claire. I emptied our savings. Good luck paying rent. I remember blinking once, twice, then staring at my son's tiny fingers gripping his backpack straps, trusting me with everything. I took a slow breath, typed back, "Thanks for letting me know." And I meant it. Because that text wasn't the beginning of my collapse, it was the beginning of his. We met 11 years ago in a rainstorm. He offered me his umbrella. I thought it was fate. He thought it was opportunity. He was charming, in that salesman way, words polished like mirrors, always reflecting what I wanted to see. Back then, I didn't know mirrors can also blind. We built a life, or at least I thought we did. A house with the sound of laughter, a shared bank account, dreams that smelled like fresh paint and late-night takeout. I used to believe love was about merging lives. He believed it was about merging assets. Then came Claire, his business partner, younger, hungrier, and conveniently available for late-night meetings. I noticed the scent of her perfume before I ever saw her face. I noticed his new shirts, his new passwords, his new excuses. The first time I asked about her, he smiled like I'd said something stupid. "She's just helping me with the expansion, babe. Don't be paranoid." So I stopped asking, and I started watching. I'm not the kind of woman who screams or throws things. I prefer silence. Silence teaches you what people reveal when they think you've stopped listening. I found his second phone 2 months later, hidden behind a drawer of old tax receipts. Locked, of course, but not to me. He'd always used our anniversary as his code. Ironic. Inside were their messages, their plans, their fantasies of freedom. He'd promised her Barcelona, promised to transfer our money there. He underestimated me the way men like him always do, confusing quiet for weakness. That night, I poured myself a glass of wine, opened my laptop, and began. First, I moved every cent of my earnings into a new account under my name. Legal, clean, untouchable. Then I called our bank and reported unusual activity on the joint account. They froze it, pending investigation. I didn't need to lie. His transfers to Spain had already triggered alerts. Next, I scheduled a meeting with our lawyer, the same one who handled our mortgage. I had documentation ready, screenshots, bank records, proof of infidelity, proof of asset manipulation. By the time he packed his bags, I had full custody petitions filed and an emergency financial injunction ready to drop. Every signature I made felt like sharpening a blade. When he texted that he was moving to Spain, the paperwork was already on the judge's desk. When he said he emptied our savings, I already knew the bank had frozen the wire. When his plane landed in Barcelona, he checked his account and found nothing. Not a euro, not a dollar, not a trace. He called me. 10 missed calls in an hour, then a voice message. His tone had changed. No more arrogance, just panic. "What the hell did you do, Emily? The account's locked. They said there's a hold. You can't just—" I could, and I did. The last message he sent was short. "You'll regret this." But regret is what built me. Regret is what taught me control. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. By the time he tried to come back, the house was sold, the custody finalized, and the court order prevented him from touching a dime. Claire left him within weeks. Turns out, love feels different when it's broke. He still sends emails sometimes, long, self-pitying paragraphs about how I ruined his life. I read them with my morning coffee, like headlines from a country I no longer live in. Last week, I took my son to the park. He ran ahead of me, laughing. His small hand reached back to pull me forward. And for the first time in years, I felt light. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it looks like a calm woman walking home from daycare, carrying a boy who trusts her completely. He thinks I destroyed him. Maybe I did. But really, I just stopped protecting the man who tried to destroy me. And when he landed in Barcelona and saw his empty account, that was the first time he finally understood what it feels like to lose everything you took for granted. I didn't ruin his life. I just returned it to its rightful owner.